The Flemington Carnival is officially underway, punters. It is Derby Day on Saturday, November 2nd, the start of the 4-day Flemington Carnival. This is like Christmas Day for all the punters around Australia. It's one of the biggest days in the Australian Racing Carnival. Of course, we've got 4 Group 1 races, the Empire Rose Stakes, the Coolmore Stud Stakes, the Victoria Derby, which is the feature race of the day, and the Kennedy Cantala Stakes. I'm Tim from Before You Bet. You might know me from Twitter at Tim_tips, and we're going to take you through all the team from DFR's selections for this weekend's racing to hopefully find a few winners in the SportChamps tournaments. Now, as I mentioned, it's a huge day in Melbourne. No race under Group 3 level. It's set to be an absolute cracker. And over at Rosehill in Sydney, of course, they've got their Golden Eagle meeting as well. So plenty to get involved in for the SportChamps tournaments this weekend, of which there are a number of options to get involved in. We've got two $15,000 tournaments for a $50 buy-in. Now, there you've got an option of a rebuy or no rebuy. We've got 2 $7,500 tournaments. Again, option of a rebuy or no rebuy there. That's a $20 buy-in. Or if you're a small-time punter, throw in your $5 buy-in for the $2,000 tournaments. Again, the option to rebuy or not rebuy. So 6 different tournaments to get involved in over at SportChamps, and we need to find you some winners for those tournaments. So if you're keen for some help throughout Saturday, be sure to jump on the DFR website, head to the Swoopers article, and you can find all the selections from the DFR team. Let's get stuck in, and I'm going to get started with my best bet of the day, which is race number 7. It's the Victoria Derby, the feature race of the day at Flemington, and I'm with number 1, Shadow Hero. Of course, this horse won the Group 1 Spring Champion Stakes in Sydney last start. That form reference is typically a good pointer for this race throughout the last few years. We saw him beat a horse called Castelvecchio, who, of course, then came out at the Cox Plate last weekend and ran second to Lee Scracier. I think that's a really strong form reference. I think if this horse performs to his best, he is going to be your winner. That's race 7, the Victoria Derby, number 1, Shadow Hero. He's my best bet of the day at around $3.20. My best value bet of the day comes up in race number 5. It's the Empire Rose Stakes, and I'm with number 7, Princess Jenny. Damien Oliver takes the ride. She was a breathtaking winner at Moonee Valley 2 starts ago in the Stock Stakes. She then came out and ran in the Toorak Handicap last start against the boys, and she was just a little bit outclassed. But we've seen horses come through that race and then back up into mare's grade and perform well. So she doesn't take on the boys here. She's back to her own sex, and I think she's right in this up to where he is. That's Princess Jenny, $8.50 is my best value bet of the day. My tip for the last at Flemington, the Get Out Stakes, race number 9. I'm with number 4, Pippi. Now, she was too bad to be true last start. She was backed into odds on. She was backed as if unbeatable. The trainer declared her, and she went like a busted. I think you can forgive her for that because her performances leading into that run were exceptional. If she bounces back to her best here from the wide draw down the straight, I think she's going to take plenty of catching from the front. She's a $6 chance, and that's the way I've gone in race number 9 at Flemington. Stuart Brown comes next, and his best bet of the day is race number 1, number 4, Zootori. He's wasting no time getting stuck into his best bet of the day. Now, this horse we saw line up against the likes of Sunlight and Santana Lane in the Gilgay Stakes down the Flemington Straight last start. If he brings that kind of form to a race like this, you'd expect him to be very hard to beat. He's third up from a spell. He goes well down the straight, and that's genuine Group 1 form he's bringing to the race. We saw that form franked with the likes of Vital Silver, who ran 4th behind him. He came out and ran 2nd in the Manikato Stakes last weekend. So Zootori, very hard to beat in the opener at Flemington. That's Stu's best bet of the day. We're getting around $2.30. Stu's best value bet of the day is number 7, Cliff's Edge. Now, he ran 2nd at Moonee Valley last start. He bounced back to form. He should go forward and make his own luck. He's around a $14 chance. That's race number 8, horse number 7, Cliff's Edge. And Stu's tip for the last is race number 9, horse number 2, Tefane. It's around a $6.50 chance. It ran back to its best form last start after a shocker 2 runs ago. But if you ignore that start 2 runs ago, her form looks very good for a race like this. I certainly think she's a very good winning chance, and Stu thinks she's the way to go in race number 9. That's horse number 2, Tefane. She's around a $6.50 chance. Cory, well, Frenchy's gone with number 6, Exceedance in the Coolmore Stud Stakes. That's race 6, horse number 6, Exceedance. He's a $4.40 chance, and he's gone with him to upset the favourite Bivouac. Now, Exceedance comes through the Golden Rose, of course. He ran 3rd behind Bivouac and Yes, Yes, Yes. They freshened him up and targeted him towards this race. The blinkers go on for the first time, and he jumped out exceptionally well at Flemington last week. He's going to take a stack of beating. I've got him on top in the race as well, and Frenchy's made it his best bet of the day. That's race 6, the Coolmore Stud Stakes, horse number 6, Exceedance at $4.40. Frenchy's best value bet of the day, well, he's heading over to Sydney in the Golden Eagle, and he's gone with horse number 2, Classique Legend at $7.50. Of course, he enjoyed a torrid run in the Everest last start. He had no luck whatsoever. That's obviously a very strong form reference, and $7.50 certainly looks a good price about Classique Legend. Cory's best value bet of the day. Cory's tip for the last is race number 9 in Melbourne, back at Flemington. He's with the top weight number 1 Manicure at $6. She's finishing the top 2 in her 2 starts this preparation and looks suited here, third up from a spell. And finally, we get to Big Hef's tips. His best bet of the day is also in the Coolmore Stud Stakes. He's opposing Stu, and he's gone with the favourite Bivouac, who was luckless in the Manikato Stakes at Moonee Valley last week. He's on the quick back up here. He jumped out sharply at Flemington during the week, and certainly on his best form, he's certainly the horse to beat in the Coolmore Stud Stakes. That's race 6, number 2, Bivouac. He's a $3.80 favourite. His best value bet of the day is race number 7, the Victoria Derby, horse number 4, Warning. He's a $9.50 chance. He just got too far back, and it was a bit of a questionable ride last start. But previous to that, in the Superimposed Stakes, he was an impressive winner over 1,800 metres. So Hef's made him his best value of the value day of the bet. And his tip for the last, he's also with me, race number 9, horse number 4, Pippi at $6. It's going to be a huge weekend of racing. Derby Day is like Christmas Day for punters. I'll be covering it all over at beforeyoubet.com.au. You can follow me on Twitter at Tim_tips, and hopefully we can find some winners for the SportChamps tournaments this weekend. Have a fantastic weekend, punters. We'll be back for Melbourne Cup Day on Tuesday to do it all again.